Rudy here, 26th of November. Welcome to the Daily Ninja Show. If you're new here, welcome aboard. This is where we go through the high risk, high reward shares ETF that surround the tank, this guy, which we use to build our portfolio to ride this resource bull market. If you don't know about him, I'll leave a vid at the end, because he's sort of like your core holding, and then you add ninjas around him depending on your risk profile. Okay, so the tank, another solid day today, up 1.5%. On the daily, he seems to be, I think we can start setting rules now around pullbacks to these areas are buys. Now I'm doing a deep dive into Bitcoin, lithium and copper today too. Alright, now we had, before we get on to that, we had inflation figures come out today. They're a bit high. Electricity, rents, food. You can see that coming down. I don't. Anyway, the Aussie 1 year government bond, 3.7. RBA, 3.6. Doesn't look like that's going down. Aussie 5 year. If that was a share, you'd probably want to buy that. VAS, so the Australian market, we were up today 0.8%, obviously driven by the tank, because if we look at, so the XFJ, so this is our financials, I honestly thought we would get a bounce up here, but that's a bear flag. You can even see today it went up and then came back down here, so that looks pretty like not enticing. And that's the CBA chart. It looks pretty much the same, well, as would be a big weighting in it. This is our property index, so the VAP, higher rates is bad for these guys because the net present value, discounted cash flow, I'm sure you all know about that. Anyway, that doesn't look good. Our tech, ATech, so we're not, the tank seems to be the only one looking good there. America, S&P, so it bounced off this 20 weekly. I think, where's all the big crash coming? Anyway, that looks fine. NASDAQ, that looks fine. Okay, I had a request for Bitcoin to have a look. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Okay, so an interesting thing, I should go back, so the average buy price for Bitcoin is 87 grand, and that's where we are now. And if we call that like a rounded top, so you take that distance from here to here and you add it to the breakdown, it gives you a target price, which is sort of aligns down here, so around 77, 80. If we look at the daily, that is a declining channel, which is bullish when broken, but it's a pretty steep one. So if we look at a 4-hour chart, it doesn't look very bullish. So I reckon Wall Street might just want to try and flush some people out. So I wouldn't be backing up the truck now, but I think there will be a good buying opportunity. But don't back up the truck yet. Okay, that's my 2 cents on Bitcoin. Gold, so gold's looking very nice. Got the cup and the handle break, so can't complain. Aussie dollar gold, that's looking fine. So our gold index, looking fine, can't complain. So the miners, it's only up 1% today, but they've ain't broken. So as long as that gold price, all we want is that gold price to stay in this level. Where have I got my percentages here? So gold miners are selling into this quarter, and that was that last quarter. So just some ratios for you. So miners over VAS. So obviously kicking VAS ass. Miners over the tank. So obviously he's a ninja, and the tank beat him last month. I'd say he will continue on. So the GDX, so the gold miners over the Nasdaq index. So it looks like there's getting me a bit of a wiggle on there. And if you're over in America, GDXJ, that looks fine. Okay, so that's gold. Copper. Okay, so the copper price is starting to look, I'll go to a weekly chart. So that looks quite interesting there. And if we overlay the gold price, so the blue line's the gold price. Okay, so we can see, well, this is so from 2020 to 24, so you see gold just was sideways and then it broke out, which is a lot similar to this copper price here, which is just sideways. So just they say gold first, then copper follows. Anyway, it doesn't look bearish. So the Wire ETF, it's the one that's all the big global copper producers. They are three boys. Surprised that didn't get a bid today. Anyway, looks good. So the main holdings in there, so you got so First Quantum, and if you knew this, if you see XMET, means it's in XMET. Second favourite ETF. Antofagasta, Southern Copper looks fine. Our boys, so Sandfire off support. BHP, biggest holding in the tank, so he's had a nice bounce there. Capstone looking good. If you're over in America, then CopJ. CopJ's got a whole bunch of our guys in them. I'll go through these. So the biggest holdings in CopJ, and they're mainly developers, like this Taseko, NGEX. The charts are beautiful. IE, there's a nice declining wedge. Okay, so in Australia we got some other producers. So we got A1M, AIS, and I've got little things here if they're in CopJ as well. AMI, DVP, I think they're probably worth a go now. HGO and 29M. So they're all producers. Then we've got some developers. So CVV, so they're in CopJ. CNB, they're not really at development stage. They're a bit early, but they're in CopJ. That's why I'm showing it. CST. So CY5, they're not a developer, but they're in CopJ. Firefly, FFM, they're still at PFX next year. Hot Chili, there's that love. Sandfire basically got involved. Was that. and PSC. They're in Copjay, but they're not a developer yet. So you can see Copjay's got a whole bunch of all of them in there. Alright, so that's copper, Dr. Copper. Uranium. So uranium spot price, not doing much. As I said, it's not very liquid market. Floor price 75. Utilities will buy it if it goes down. URNM. So where are we? Oh, we've broken the little declining wedge here. Have the underlying holdings. So Kamiko, well, that looks good. Kaza, that looks good. What about Sput? Sput looks, well, it tracks the physical price, so that's life. URNJ, okay, that's starting to look a bit attractive there. So the holdings in there, UEC, Denison, NextGen, you can see all this green coming in, Palladium. So they're all starting to get a bit of a giddy up. Okay. Rare earths, so REMX, so that's starting to look good. Linus, so Linus is, oh, that was the time. So they got an issue with their coal processing plant. Anyway, the market didn't seem to worry. MP Materials, that seems to be at support. ILU, that looks fine. Okay. Okay, Lithium. This one's surprising me, I tell you. As I said, that's a shooting star, which is bearish, but if broken, extremely bullish. If we look at the lithium price, that looks pretty bullish too. So that's flowing through to, say, PLS, Gangfeng, SQM. You can see there in X Metal, REMX. So IGO, Liontown. Now we've got another producer. They just started, ELV. So there, and then I'll go through our developers, because now the producers are running, the developers usually follow. So we've got AGY, looks very nice. CRR doesn't look very nice. GL1 looks very nice. GLN looks pretty nice. LKE, that looks pretty nice. CXO, that was an old one. Anyway, still looks good. INR, that looks promising too. And VUL. So there's some little opportunities there, and then in terms of explorers, there's a few that start looking okay. AS2, DLI, JLL, and WC8. So bit of excitement there. It's all around town at the moment. So lithium. Okay, oil. Okay, so what's the daily? Okay, so the oil price seems to be catching a bit of a bid around this area. You can see these little tails here. Natural gas. So we'll go to a weekly chart. So it seems to be hanging on there. So that flows through to the master, Mr. Dividend. So he, I reckon, as I said yesterday, I think that's a good time to get him. If you don't have him, then have a go. How's the switch? The switch for the Woodside over CBA. So he just needs to do a little bit more. So if you want to triple your dividend, do a switch from CBA. Origin, 5% div. That looks like it's pretty good there too. Okay. What else we got here? Okay, nickel. What's the nickel price doing? Hey, look at that. Okay, take out some stops down here and up she goes. So that should flow through to, so NIC, that's probably a good time to get him. Yeah, very nice. Iron ore, so that looks fine. So FM, ooh, look at that, hey? All these guys feeding into the tank, very nice. Tin, well, look at that, tin's popping its head up. So that's MLX, that's the tin company. Okay, what about coal? Well, coal's not, it's still up here. So NHC, it's good. I reckon it's a good level to pick it up. 8.2% div. Yeah, why not? Alright, and then finish off with my girlfriend. See what's going on. So we go to a daily chart. So she's moving nicely. Look at that, very nice. Cup handle. Will they let her beat 54? That's the question. We'll see. Zinc. Go to a weekly. So think's hanging on alright. Lead still. A lead balloon. So ETP mag. That's setting up really nice. Okay, SilJ, I think if that silver price keeps going, I think tonight's the night for her. Lovely rounded bottom on her. So the big one, this thing's a beast, Heckler. So it's in XMET too. It's a beast. The other one's CDE. They're not in XMET, but this is what I'm looking forward to. This run here in SilJ, First Majestic, Endeavour, Wheaton, and then we got XMET. So he got his own little video on the weekend. I reckon I think he's gonna rip soon, so I can do a bit of a flagpole projection now when it breaks. So there's the flagpole, and you add it to the breakout zone. So I reckon we're heading up to $17. Not tonight. give it a few months, but that's not bad if you can get that. And then finish off with the South 32. So again, in MVR and looking good. Alright, let's see what happens. See ya.